welcome to part 2B, because part 2 is gone.
98895, that's
M209, our northbound CSX, having a problem with the car, passed us. And that is our first NS catch of the day since this morning. And I believe it is the second NS train that I've seen today, because I had lunch at the tavern, trackside bar and grill, just down a block. Man, I love that place. Oh, their food is good. For dinner, surf and turf. For lunch, they got the coolest French fries. They're like, they're like slugs. They're cut longwise, and they're about 1/8 of an inch thick, and they're about 1/2 an inch wide. Man, are those good. Well, this morning we did Wi-Fi. And by the way, this is a live production, June 5th, 2026, for those of you first time on. And with live production, you deal with what happens when it happens. There's no editing. There's no fancy computer with all kinds of colors, and you snip it together and pull it apart and stretch it out and tell it to this and tell it to that. With live, you deal with it as it happens. So, this morning, we were fine on MiFi. So, this afternoon, we aren't. Is it heat? Is it whatever? I have no idea. Technology and I don't spend a lot of time together in my free time.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 62.2, now defects. Repeat, now defects. Norfolk Southern, milepost 62.2, now defects. Repeat, now defects.
So our last NS train, 2 miles away. So anyhow, as we were discussing this morning, totally fine on the MiFi for transmission source. And when you're using a source for the live stream, heat is a major factor. As any of you know that have tried to film in the summer on your cell phone and you're outside, it's a problem. And your cell phone gets super hot because it's working so hard to transmit. Same thing with the Mevo system. Goes through the tablet and all kinds of cool things. And it doesn't use the signal that's inbound. It uses the Wi-Fi signal outbound, where you then send to YouTube, and about 40% of your quality is lost during that time period, regardless of what you're using. So, there you have it.
They just okayed this guy to roll at 30, and they're gonna watch it. So I gotta tell them to start easing on it as soon as 601 gets out of the way. But that would leave y'all going straight to Cordele right now. Yeah, there'd be a train at Alley. That one that's right in front of you right now, it'd be stuck there for a parade.
Sounds like CSX, because M209 is having some backup.
JDM 209.
They had a bad car from what I understood on the scanner.
News that they are okaying this car to move to Fitzgerald
Let's see if y'all can hear
There's a
this.
storage track over back. Anyways, they're okaying this car to move at 30. They're going to watch it over the next few DDs. They want y'all to keep on easing on whenever the 601 gets out here.
All right, sounds like train 601's next up. They've got to get him out of the way. And then, another day in paradise. And then, they're,
I'll have to double check on the storage track over back out on the old
me
clear,
last night.
the north end.
I went to work today. Excuse my French. Some
no,
bitch don't win in my.
don't,
Oh, okay.
because we're live
You
on
win in my
YouTube, so
information.
yeah, no French.
Okay, well, I just want to ask your opinion. I'm up on the identity stuff, and I don't have a computer, sir. How can I get that live lock?
Go to the library.
Sir?
Use the library. The library will have Wi-Fi and computers you can use.
Okay. They wouldn't do it to the library.
Yeah, at the library, most libraries have public computers that you could use, and you could go on there.
There,
It's on the storage track.
okay, I'm gonna go for that.
All right, that would be my best advice, unless you have a friend with a computer, use theirs.
Sir?
Unless you have a friend with a computer, use
No,
theirs.
sir, I don't have one, sir. I don't even have a phone. Because it's just something about a phone and a computer I don't like. And
Right.
everything ain't free.
No, there's nothing free in life anymore.
And you say,
But check
cyber.
Check your library.
Okay, can you write that down for me, please? Please, on that. Just write that down for me. And man, I trusted him, man.
Well, I haven't really done anything other than
Man,
a
that
source to
man-
get a computer would be your city library
Okay.
here in Cordele. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, I know where it is. I'm talking about cyber, though. Can you write that down for me? You know what I'm saying? What?
A guy had to be called out to move it for us. I got you. That sounds.
There you go.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Have a good
May
day.
Jesus bless you.
And you too.
All right. Yes, sir.
He's on them at 30.
Be careful going across
They're gonna
those.
watch it over the next few DDs. Shop truck will follow y'all. And I'll get with you down the road about where we're gonna set it off at. Okay, copy that.
All right,
While I got you, do got a slow order I gotta give you down there. It won't really matter if you're doing 30, but I don't know if PDC would freak out anyway. So come over to 20. I gotta give you a slow order.
So M209 is going to get a slow order, as you heard, at 30. They're going to have a shop truck follow the train, and they're going to run him across some defect detectors so they can get him out of the way, watch that car, and get him on over to a crossing or where they can help him get repaired.
What's your mile put?
When you set that off, I'll let you know what track you're setting in when you get close. But when you make your set off, you'll have to pick up an engine at 3 out of track 8. Over.
A&B 696.5 M20904, engine 3244D, lead circle line 5.
And track 8 and loaded vehicle.
B track. Malthus A&B
So we're switching the mic back and forth, and I've had it on the other side so you can hear the conversation with M509 with a bad car order. 601's in the area. They need to get 509 out. They couldn't get it cut off, apparently. Listen to the conversation, so they're going to give him a slow order at 30, have the cavalry follow him with a high rail, and see what happens over the next several DDs. Okay, they're talking to train 601 now. All right, 601 is starting to roll. For those of you just joining us, a northbound CSX had a car problem. And we are here in the cool and exciting town of, and we were talking about the problems we were having. And since we are a live production, we just have to deal with it as it comes along and try and solve it. And tomorrow, after we return on the second half of this trip, Sunday morning at 10 a.m., Production 6 is getting an upgrade. Production 6 is going to a Apple tablet designed specifically to communicate, coordinate, and transmit with the Mevo system from Logitech. Not a cheap proposition, but it's supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread with a toaster and 2 kinds of peanut butter. So Ray has class, and yes, there's knacks everywhere. I don't know how these people take it. So 10 o'clock is class on Sunday morning to use the new Apple tablet designed to do all these cool things. Whew, I don't know if you can see them, but they're just everywhere. I got bug spray on. I may hang a deodorant pad on me or something. These little fellas are so bad. Ay, ay, ay. So anyhow, where are we? Cordele, Georgia. What are we doing in Cordele, Georgia? We're hanging out with Production 6 at the 3 Railroad Point Junction here. We got diamonds galore. The only thing is, I'm already married, don't need any more diamonds, so maybe someone can come collect a few of them. 3 railroad lines cross here. The HOG, Heart of Georgia. Heart of Georgia, milepost 665.3. As you heard, the CSX Fitzgerald sub, milepost 694.9. And Norfolk Southern, South Macon District, or Macon District I should say, at the 64.6, where we caught our first NS train. If we have another one, we'll probably switch legs, get a little better there. And I'm going to put a little more bug spray on or something here in a moment. May even spray some on the hat, maybe that'll help. So, let's get back to the action. Let's go ahead and listen to the scanner. 601 for CSX, making his way gradually here. Cavalry going to go help 509. And who knows what's next. We're going to hang out until, I don't know. I don't even know what time it gets dark here. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Whatever it is, we're going to stay up till that point. We're hanging out here on 8th Street, where I understand they put the barricades up because someone failed to stop. Now I can get that because when you look at this, there really isn't anything that tells you to stop. So if you're coming down that road over there at night, and we're on the other half of it over here, all of a sudden, there's that little sign that says, no right turn. It doesn't tell you that the road is now done, over, or look out, or whatever. And I think several of you had told me, we put the barricades up to keep the cars from going onto the tracks. Well, that's a pretty cool plan, except this side's the same. So, I don't know. I'm not in charge of roads, barriers, or painting reflective yellow, or any of those kind of things. So, there you have it. We're on 8th Street on this side, Cordele, Georgia, downtown. right across from the viewing platform that the city built here, and it's a beautiful platform. Check this out, you guys. Fans, benches, bathrooms. They even have a gentleman that comes and maintains them every day. I met him around 6 o'clock the last time I was here. So, take a look at that. We're going to spray my hat with bug spray, see if that helps. And yes, Todd, the strange things that do happen. And yes, they're Todd, I mean literally, and everyone, literally. If you stand here with your mouth open, you get free dinner. Because the little fellows are just, they're in swarms. And I was in this shop here, and the lady wasn't real happy with life. So the thought came upon me to leave the door open to see how many gnats could fly in, because they literally follow you around in this beautiful, historic, very nice, old. And when I tell you old, let me re-emphasize the word old town. That's a college, a division of one of the colleges there. Just to give you a little idea about the history of Cordele, is known as the watermelon capital of the world. Even though this city is deeply, deeply rooted in railroad development and Civil War history and was formed because of the railroads, and there is so much railroad history here, we're going to need 2 translators to tell all of it to you. Oh, I got a phone call here. Hang on a second. Todd, if you still have an issue, send me a note. If you're still having a sound issue, send me a note. I've had the mic the other way so you can hear all the transmission going on about what to do with our train that's down, and the bad orders and the good orders and the restriction orders and all the other orders. So anyhow, if you didn't know it, Cordele, Georgia was founded in 1888. Wow. Incorporated December 22nd, just in time for Christmas in 1888. And it is here as a child of the railroad. Literally, the railroad gave birth to this town and made it what it is today, made it a junction point for the plantations to ship and receive goods, passenger service, and everything else. In November of 1864, the area also served as Georgia's temporary capital during the Confederacy's final days. I did not know that. Everybody retreated and ran the southern states from right here. That's kind of cool. Governor Joseph Brown used his farmhouse the Dooley County place to escape Sherman's march to the sea, making it an official capital for only a few days. And we are in Crisp, like Apple Crisp County, in case you wanted to know. 1905, Crisp County was formed from the old southern Dooley County, and Cordele became the county seat. Crisp County was named for Charles Frederick Crisp. And check this out, in 1930, Crisp County became the first county in the nation to own and operate its own electrical power plant, the Crisp County hydroelectric system on the Flint River. That's pretty cool, and as a result, we still have Lake Blackshear as a resort today. All right, this should be 601. let's listen for that axle count here in a couple minutes. Cordele Railroad viewing platform. Let's hear what they got to say. Let's hear our axle count. Somebody mentioned earlier they saw the water tower. And you did. Hopefully, you can see all of it. There. Because the umbrella but that is the iconic water tower that this city is so well known for. And as we were talking, the railroads made Cordele such a crossroads, and it still makes Cordele stand apart from the rest. Cordele basically exists. Norfolk Southern, former Georgia Southern and Florida Southern Railway, and CSX, former Atlanta, Birmingham and Coast, and the Atlantic Coastline, both Class 1 railroads. And by the way, I see the FEGs have put a halt to the merger that I read today. If anybody's got any information, fill us in. Everybody kind of messing with the deal. And the heart of Georgia, HOG, a Genesee and Wyoming Railroad Company, also is here. So all three of them cross at this point. CSX, NS, and the heart of Georgia, known as HOG, H-O-G. And the HOG line preserves much of the original SAM mainline. So a little bit of history there. John had told us earlier about all the different rail lines that have gone past and through here and the passenger service. John's still on. If anybody has any questions, I'm sure John will be happy to update you. Todd, Lucas, somebody. Anybody have a question, always just shout it out. Or if you see something that excites you, a favorite locomotive, something on a train car, an old box car like an old Burlington Northern, or we had Lucas in red, white, and blue earlier, or just new cars, just all kinds of things. Just shout them out. If there's a particular engine type that you see, matter of fact, that last CSX train, if you noticed, the nose was open on the second locomotive. He was nose in, and if you notice when he went by, that nose was open on our second back locomotive on 601. Uh-oh. Do you hear what I hear? Let's listen. Oh, and by the way, man, we had some massive pouring fluid on our last CSX. Thanks, guys. That was phenomenal. Don't know if you saw it on the side of one of those cars where the spray paint can was, but there is a note that if God doesn't open heaven's gates, he's going to use a bolt cutter. Interesting message. There goes our southbound CSX. Let's see if we can hear how many axles on the defect detector. Then we'll talk about the water tower for a moment. As he went through town at 19 miles an hour. Picking up just at the diamond. As we listen to him whistle as he rolls south. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Look at that beautiful viewing platform park that the city of Cordele has made. You can kind of read all the background. Like I said, the railroads made this town all the way back in the 1800s. Some of these buildings I think are still standing from the 1800s. Well, matter of fact, I know some of them are. I was in one today. We're looking for some blue glass, or cobalt glass to be exact, for Mrs. S. All those placards tell you about the history of the railroad here in Cordele. Got some rail fans across the way. And there is the viewing platform. Let's see if we can hear how many axles we had. Still hear his horn. Again, we're listening for the mile defect detector. You hear how many our axle count was. If all goes right, I see Togg's talking about tomorrow's plans. We're going to do the north end of the Macon yard tomorrow morning. And then, and I can't think of the town where they filmed the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. Depending on the travel distance and timing, we're going to swing by there. And then in the afternoon, we're going to try and stop by Austell on the way home to Mrs. S. So we'll yak here in a moment. Let's hear if we hear the defect detector on the axle number on our southbound train. Well, I did not hear the axle count. Doggone it. I can give you a net count, 1,613,000. They're everywhere. If you don't think that Cordele was not centered around the railroads, as you look at that historic, iconic water tower, and everybody describes it as a castle, you know, with a moat around it and the dragon that tries to get in. The Cordele Water Tower structure was built in 1914, and that date is actually inscribed above its doorway, and it served as Cordele's primary water supply for nearly 50 years, and it's one of the two remaining water towers of its type in Georgia. They're hoping to make the city of Cordele a new event center with a train observation platform over there, but they've already got one here, so I'm going to guess maybe they changed those plans. Since this is a major railroad hub for southeastern Georgia, the tower celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2014. With citizens and officials gathering to recognize its importance to Crisp County's history. And right now, we have the golden hour light. Boy, how nice would it be right now to catch us a northbound train. Going right into that. Woo, that'd be some nice sun. Or get us a westbound over on the NS track. If we get another westbound, I'll change the lens over so we can zoom in a little bit more. Our CSX train was pretty full of new cars there in those auto racks. And in case you're wondering, well, Mike said that the city gets its water, or got its water. The Cordele Water Tower was used for the railroads. When it was built in 1914, it served the railroad steam locomotives till it went out of order in 1960. When steam locomotives were replaced by what you and I know as diesel locomotives today. And that tower quenched the Iron Horse's thirst back then. Just imagine how fast they could fill a tender up with water with that amount of downflow. Put that spout on, pull that cord, and whoosh, you got water. here at the intersection of CSX, Norfolk Southern, and the Heart of Georgia Railroad. Hopefully they can fix it up and preserve it another 100 years. So our children's children can see a part of history. Mama Bear, Tara, this sunset's for you. I hope everybody's okay. CSX southbound. Let's get our lenses changed out so we don't overextend and into a huge, massive picture. That train will be so big it'll look like 3 trains. I got so many necks, I might as well just let them change the lens. Ay, 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 there's a lot of these guys. If y'all watch me on the rail cam from across the street, I look like I've gone crazy. Alright, hey everybody. Woo! I don't know if you can see them. I've got bug spray on my hat, on my neck. Thought about spraying it in my ear. I mean, the little fellas are just everywhere. Here in Crisp County, here at the 3 junction railroad intersection, where we spent our day, had our technical issues, had fun, hung out with you guys, watched the high railer, listened to a train have a problem setting off a car, and then they ended up, because he was holding up traffic, running him at a speed restriction of 30. And the old fellow that got his identity stolen, who doesn't do technology, it's one of everything today. But put this on your list, just not in the season with the gnats. Did y'all catch that train number? Oh, that's probably exactly right, Todd. All the watermelon rinds. Oh my goodness, they're awful. Look at all that gravel. Actually, they're all gravel, but whoa. Wow, man, what a great train crew. Man, that was awesome with a capital A. Whoa. Well, our soaring 90 degrees is finally backed off. And we're probably going to hang till 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. Then we're going to start our trip northward. We'll find us a place to bed down for the night. Get us some fuel. Alan sent me notes on the gas prices in the area. They're just around the corner, about 5 minutes from us. Production 6 has 29 miles to go till empty, and then we push it. So, Loves is our next stop after here. And look, just look how pretty this place is at night. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Minus the gnats. The gnats gotta go. And yeah, I've talked about the gnats a lot. You have no idea. I think I've had a whole gnat snack today from all these things. Ugh. That's the crossing closest to us. And right over there is a consignment store with 65 different consigners in, where I found some blue glass for Mrs. S. There's a look towards downtown Cordele. Very quiet town. Only one person blaring music all day, the entire day that we've been here. John's over there. He's been hanging out all week. I think he's at 175 trains this week. There's a college downtown, and there's the night view of the railroad platform built by the city. Restrooms on both sides, fans, cameras, and a scanner. Well, that's a lot of horn. Let's see what's up. I hear bell. We got gates, we got lights, we got bell, and we have horn. Let's hope that means we have train. 80 miles an hour. Well, hey everybody. Wow. What? As Tony said, triple. Not one, not two, but all 3 sevens on our lead locomotive. And another fantastic train team up front with that conductor and that engineer. Whoa. I just can't believe what a fantastic day we have had here in Cordele, Georgia, where 3 railroad crossings, or 3 railroads, cross one another. There's enough diamonds over there to call this Marksman's Diamonds and Jewels. Where the CSX line, the fixed Georg sub at the 694.9, the HOG line, Heart of Georgia. I'm sorry, Todd, we didn't get one of their trains today. We did see the Genesee Wyoming crews and their trucks coming and going, but we did not get to see a train come or go or honk or pass or anything. And on the HOG line, incredibly historic line, we are at the 665.3 milepost. and the CSX Fitzgerald sub 694-9, and on the Norfolk Southern Macon District line, we are at the 64-6. Today's production was live. I don't know what is today, June 5th, Friday, 2026. We've had our technology issues today, as we often do. And it's been a fun day, it's been a great day, it's been a cool day, it's been a super awesome day. And I'm really glad that I could get to share with you guys this location. We're doing a little traveling this weekend. Last weekend we were up in Virginia hanging out, where we got to see the Vicar coaling tower, and we got to see the Montgomery tunnels. Tara took us downtown for all kinds of stuff, including Amtrak and Roanoke. And Jesse took us to the Virginia Transportation Museum, where we were guests of the 611 team and the unveiling. And y'all know Jesse, Whistleboard Productions. So, I think that wraps it up. And after this video finishes, it will go in the Rail Moments YouTube library under the Trackside Live category, where you can see this in the future. And you guys, when you do, please leave us a comment. We'd like to know your thoughts. And like I said, when we do these are not studio production. There's no qualification of the sound, or somebody pushes mic down, or the 500 knacks that I'm trying to keep from swallowing and digesting every minute. They're just everywhere. I'm drenched in Deep Woods Off spray. And hopefully you'll put this on your calendar to bring the fam, bring the son, the daughter, grandma, grandpa, dad, whoever loves trains in your family. You can hang out here 24/7. It's lit. There's fans, there's benches, plenty of parking. There's a fantastic tavern restaurant, the Railroad restaurant just a block down. Just a gorgeous, clean, historic town. And when you guys watch this in the future, please leave comments. Let us know if you've ever been here. And thank you to everybody, the thousands of you this week that have visited the channel. We had 4.2 thousand visitors. That's unique individual. That's not the same guy or gal looking 4,000.2 times. That's 4,000.2 unique visitors to the channel in a single day. That puts us close to over 750,000 visitors, different visitors to the Rail Moments. I was listening to that. So make sure, as Todd has said several times today, probably a whole bunch of times, and John and everybody else, pound, hit, like, and whatever you need to do to that like button. There goes the police. And if you haven't already, subscribe. That way you can chat with us. Call out your favorite engine. If you see something that excites you, there's two popos. And if there's something that you see that you like, be it a favorite old car or favorite locomotive, or shout out the power type or what the train number is, participate. Todd and I and everyone, we love for you to participate. Just like when I'm somewhere, y'all come on out and hang out. I love for you to be in the picture with us. Sometimes a little quiet because I'm working on making sure I do everything right, and this is connected, that's connected, this is pointed that way, this way, and all the other things that I have to do. Otherwise, things don't come out right, and then Todd yells at me. Don't forget, you better hurry. Mrs. S, if you're watching, I found you some cobalt blue glass. There's a difference at the little place, and ironically, just like in Pascagoula, it's 1 block away from where we were filming. There's 3 places here in town. Only one of them had cobalt blue glass for Mrs. S. We bought all they had. 65 different vendors there. So, what else? Todd, is there anything I'm missing? I got one of the monitors here. Night, Anne-Marie. thanks for being on with us today. It was really great to have you again. Good to see you. Good just to see everybody. Tony, everybody. Fantastic. Just fantastic to hang out with you. The Rail Moments umbrella there. Above us, I guess we can take that down now. The sun's set. We're going to head north. Watch for us in the morning. I believe we're going to start out in Macon at the north end of the yard. Got to find us a Marriott someplace to spend the night and wash all this deep woods off. Because I've just been spraying myself in it today, even the hat. So Todd, anything else? Anything I missed? Anything you want to tell everybody? Anything anybody wants to know about the old historic water tower? By the way, there's a debate. There's information that says the water tower didn't serve the steam engines, and there's information that says it did. So based upon when it was built, I'm going to say it did. So if anybody knows, or if anybody's a historian here in Crisp, C-R-I-S-P County, let us know. Send us a comment. Crisp reminds me when I was in school, I always wanted extra apple crisp. And it was a nickel. And I always had at least 1 or 2 nickels because I could eat me some apple crisp in school. Slide the plastic lunch tray along, get what you wanted, buy extra. I wasn't tiny when I was a child, and I'm still not tiny as an adult. My doctor reminds me of it every day. So Todd, anything that I need to cover that we've missed? Oh, hey, we're going to have a night train, y'all. Looks like we're going to put a night train through. Probably won't be able to see much on this. But it sounds like I have horn. And then we're going to call it a night. Let's listen again. We do have horn. All right, last one of the night. Feet long. was first to tell us, don't y'all race at once. And Drifter and everybody else that was waiting for an NS, there you go. One eastbound NS train. Billy. Oh, everybody. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been a lot of real fun. I'll see y'all at the next crossing in the morning.